Okay, I think we're ready to start. It's possible I may walk back and forth in front of the screen, but I'm hoping to avoid the light shining in my eyes. Okay, I think we're ready to start. Hello, I'm going to introduce myself. I know Janet already told you my name, but my name is Teresa Nickham, and I work here at IUPUI. I'm an associate faculty, and I teach ASL classes here part-time. But I really like coming here and presenting while you practice your interpreting. I like presenting on this topic of the wetlands. It's something I enjoy. I have experience working with the wetlands. In the past, I worked full-time for the federal government under the Natural Resource Conservation Services. And this is under the United States Department of Agriculture. So I worked there for about 2 years before I was laid off. But it's still something that I enjoy coming every year and presenting on. So we'll go ahead and start. The wetlands. There are many different kinds of wetlands. The list is extensive. You may have heard of them as swamp, bogs, fens, a very extensive list. So we're going to condense that today to 4 subgroups. And these are important subgroups. And I'll explain each of them to you in the next slide. So we may be asking, what are the wetlands? What is their purpose? Now, a wetland is an area where plants prefer wet soil. And sometimes when they dry up and shrink, different plants will grow, but then when the wetlands come back, the plants will come back as well. So then there's the coastal wetlands, the inlands, which is in Indiana, marsh. Then there's the swamp, which has trees. And then there's the bog, where there's lots of grasses. And the next slide, it'll show you a map of the United States. As you can see here, along the coastal line, are the coastal wetlands, called the coastal marshes. It's where fresh water and salt water intertwine. It has lots of specialized plants. Down here, I'm sure you're familiar with this, Louisiana, are very famous for their wetlands, their swamps and marshes. They have very low hanging trees and animal life, alligators and such. This is located right here, those marshes, and they're very near the ocean as well. So they empty into the salt water. And Florida is very famous for the Everglades. You can see over here. Now the inland marshes, this area and this area, have trees. In New England wetlands, you can see the red maple tree. Those are located in the inlands, and here in Indiana. Now this next slide it discusses what the purpose of wetlands are. And they have a few purposes. They're a very rich habitat for animals and plant life. Another purpose for a wetlands is the water filtration. It's a natural water purification where dirty water runs in and clean water runs off. It also adds an electrical charge to the water. So it has many functions. And this slide shows some of them. We really need to value our wetlands and preserve them. They're a very important aspect to our environment. This describes how wetlands work and how the filtration works. If you notice up here in these photos, it's showing you how the water filters through. The land up top here is possibly from a farm that's a runoff. And it runs off into the wetlands. So this water runoff from these farms have chemicals and dirt and fertilizer all contained in its runoff. And the wetlands is a natural water purification system. All the grasses and plants filter and break down the contaminants, which settle to the bottom and stays there. Then the clean water is able to run off down a stream or a river. But this natural purification process is very important. It's important to have these specialized plants here because without those plants, this natural purification process wouldn't exist. Oh, I think we're going to hold at this point. Thank you.